What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for PlayPicks.com, coming to you talk a little Sunday night football. Another excellent matchup here between the Chargers and the Steelers. Going to try and make this a little bit shorter of a video than it has been here lately. I know you guys value your time. I value your time as well, so going to keep this a little bit shorter. Hopefully, while you're here, do have one favor. Please click that subscribe button down below. Give it a little thumbs up like. Really would appreciate all the help that you guys are giving me trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on this page. Hashtag keep Matt employed. So really appreciate all the help that you guys are giving me. You can help me stay employed and be doing these videos in the next season and everything like that. Thank you so much. All right. Got the Chargers and the Steelers here on Sunday night. This game got flexed to the evening game, rightfully so. Really, really good matchup here. Taking a look here. Mid-50s, no chance of any real rain or snow or anything like that. I mean, of course, if you're watching the Green Bay game earlier today, you saw, tons of snow and things like that. Not the case in this one. Pretty mild winds as well, so we're not really watching that either as far as that goes. Chargers 8-3 on the season, 4-2 at home, 4-1 on the road. Of course, this game on the road, 6-5 against the spread. Sitting in second in the AFC West behind the Chiefs. Probably not going to catch the Chiefs, obviously, barring a giant collapse from them. Coming off a 45-10 win over just the absolutely pathetic Arizona Cardinals. The Steelers, on the other hand, 7-3-1 on the season, 3-2 at home, 4-1-1 on the road. Of course, this one at home, 6-4-1 against the spread so far this year. Sitting on top of the AFC North. Coming off a pretty embarrassing 24-17 loss to the Broncos. If you watched that game, it was not pretty for this Steelers team here. Common opponents amongst these two teams. Both teams have lost to the Chiefs. Both teams have lost to the Broncos. Both teams have beaten the Browns. Chargers have beaten them twice. The Steelers beat them once and then, of course, tied them one time as well. That's the tie there for the Steelers. Guys, if you watch these videos, you know how this works. So look, I'm going to try and give you the case for both sides here. You guys make your decision on how you want to play. I'll tell you how I'm going to play the game, but by all means, if something I say along the way helps you just further your position, which is opposite of mine, awesome. I'm glad that I helped you solidify your opinion somewhere along the way in this one. Of course, you can head to playpicks.com for the entire written breakdown of this game. You can head to playpicks.com/bonus for all of our bonus offers. You can head to dkpicks.com for all of our $25 free offers over at DraftKings. Taking a look at the odds here, got them listed up here at the top. You can click any of these if you want to. We'll click over and just actually look inside DraftKings Sportsbook right here. You can see it's still three here on DraftKings Sportsbook. 52.5. So it's actually moved a half point since the article was published here. In this one over at FanDuel, you can see still at 3, and this is actually 52.5 as well. So it's moved a half point since the article was published as well. So you can see that people going after this over, not a shocker here. Whenever I read you these statistics, you will see that we've got 39% of the bets, 26% of the money on the Chargers. So a lot of people backing the Steelers in this thing. 77% of the tickets and 76% of the money is on the over. Of course, people love to bet the over. So that you can see, even since we posted this article this morning, this thing has been on the move. So lots of people hitting the over in this one. Of course, Nate's got his full written breakdown here. I'll kind of start breaking down, looking at these offenses here. Chargers, 27.9 points per game, 5th in total yards in the league, 15th in red zone touchdown percentage, so right in the middle of the league there as far as getting in the end zone once they get into the red zone, 10th in offensive rush percentage. Like to run the ball there. 7th in rush yards. Again, though, they're going to be without Melvin Gordon in this one. If we take a look, and that is one of the big things that the injury news and notes in this one is Melvin Gordon's going to miss this game. Probably a couple more after this one. Austin Eckler is going to be your guy there for the Chargers. Tyrell Williams also on the offensive side for the Chargers here, listed as questionable. It was listed as questionable last week, ended up playing, and then only played 9 snaps. So even if he does go in this one, he might not actually really go in this one. 23rd in offensive pass percentage, 9th in pass yards. So they don't pass a ton as far, comparatively to when they run, but when they do pass, they're very efficient when they do it, converting 37.8% of their third downs. Not the greatest there. Offensive line, 14th graded run blocking unit according to Pro Football Focus and 26th in pass blocking, according to Pro Football Focus. On the scroll down here so you can continue reading along if you want to read along with some of this stuff that's going on. Steelers, 28.7 points per game so far for this offense, 4th in total yards, 2nd in red zone touchdown percentage. Of course, that makes a lot of sense when you have as many playmakers as the Steelers do. 27th in the league in total rush yards, so not really running a ton because you'll see 1st in pass attempts, 2nd in pass yards, and 2nd in offensive pass percentage. So they are throwing the ball more often than basically every single team in this league, converting 45.7% of their third downs. Pretty good on third down there. Offensive line, 16th graded run blocking unit, according to Pro Football Focus, number 1 graded pass blocking unit, according to Pro Football Focus. And remember that when we talk a little bit later, because that is going to be a key to this game. If you're wondering about pace, if you're wondering about how this game might play, Chargers dead last in pace, actually, in the league. Steelers 13th in pace. So you kind of have a faster team with a slow team. Meet in the middle here. Should be kind of pace neutral. On the defensive side of the ball, looking here for the Chargers, 9th overall DVOA, 15th overall by Pro Football Focus, 9th in yards allowed per game, 26th rank rush defense, according to Pro Football Focus. 8th best pass rush, 3rd best pass coverage grade, actually. So this Chargers secondary grading out pretty well. 13th in rush yards allowed per game, 8th in pass yards allowed per game. Now, that being said, I dug in a little bit deeper, and you're like, oh, man, they're not allowing very many pass yards. Could Big Ben and them struggle? One thing I just do want to point out for you guys, they're 8th in pass yards allowed per game, but they played the Bills, they played the 49ers, they played the Raiders twice, they played the Cardinals, the Titans, and the Seahawks. So that's 7 games of the games that they played so far this year, where you're playing teams that just don't have any sort of pass game or just prefer to run the ball a ton. So just something to keep in mind. That statistic could be a little misleading whenever you take a look at it. On the Steelers side, defensively, let's keep scrolling here just a tad. Steelers defensively, 12th overall DVOA, 14th overall by Pro Football Focus, 7th in yards per game allowed, so they're pretty stingy. 7th against the run, pretty stingy against the run. 9th in rush yards allowed per game, 10th rated pass rush, so getting after the quarterback pretty well. 19th in pass coverage, though, so on the bottom side of the middle there, as far as pass coverage grade. 6th in pass yards per game allowed for this defense here on the Steelers side of the ball. Scroll down here, and of course you saw this as I was going along. I mean, up to $500 in free bets over there at BetStars if you want to take advantage of that. They also have these kind of weird promo things. Connor Eckler and Antonio Brown all to score touchdowns plus 450 at BetStars if you want to take advantage of things like that. And then at FanDuel Sportsbook, I mean, we flipped over here. They've got all kinds of these different things, game props, player props. You can go to any of these as you go along. But one of the things that they have is Eckler 50 rush yards and a Chargers win plus 340 over there. Kind of an interesting little prop. All right, guys, let's make the case for the over in this one. We've seen this thing continue to rise, obviously, even since the article got posted this morning. Case for the over is just basically the both of these offenses roll. We talked about points per game towards the top of the league for both of these teams, over nearly 28 points per game for the Chargers, over 28 points per game for the Steelers. Steelers play much better at home. Big Ben plays better at home. Antonio Brown's home road splits over the course of his career have been astronomically different. And so that's, listen, the case for the over is it's just status quo here. We got two good offenses. They continue to roll and they put up points on the board here. The case for the under could be that the Chargers struggle without Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon was a key part of this offense here. I mean, his efficiency is off the charts. He was catching balls out of the backfield. Every time they got in the red zone, he was a key contributor in getting that ball in the end zone for them, and just was basically one of Phillip Rivers' go-to guys here. So you could look at this Chargers offense struggle without Melvin Gordon in there. Certainly a case for the under. Another case for the under here is maybe the Steelers decide to change it up a little bit. I mean, of course, they struggled mightily last week. Maybe they decide that they want to be a little bit more run heavy. Maybe they want to try to keep the ball out of Phillip Rivers' hands. Maybe something along those lines get going as well. And then two, the other case could be that just the fact that we have two good defenses going here. The case for the under. The case for the under could be that Joey Bosa gets after gets after Big Ben and causes all kinds of disruption. Maybe you have the Steelers defense who's been playing well at pretty much every level so far and also getting after the quarterback as well. Phillip Rivers maybe is under distress here. Maybe Austin Eckler isn't really able to get it going as much. Tyrell Williams misses the game and all they have is Keenan Allen. And so, different things like that certainly could lead to a case for the under in this game. If you want to bet some player props in this thing, one of the things I would be looking for is Austin Eckler rush yards. If you see a number that just looks a little too high for you here, because look, Justin Jackson is going to get probably 20 to 30% of the carries in this game. That's just how the Chargers work. Even when Melvin Gordon was healthy, Austin Eckler was rotating in and getting a decent amount of work. So if you see a number that looks a little bit too high for Austin Eckler rush yards, I would not hesitate to take the under on that because, again, Justin Jackson is going to get work in this thing. And we mentioned Tyrell Williams is questionable in this game. If he happens to be active in this game, I would look at the under in receptions and yards for him because, as we mentioned, he was active, quote unquote, active last game and then only played 9 snaps, just wasn't able to go. If he's very questionable leading into this one and he just wants to give it a go, we could certainly see another situation where he goes out there, plays a handful of snaps, decides that he's not able to really function, and then just stands on the sidelines the rest of the game. So how are we going to play this game on the sides here? Look, I mean, the Steelers are going to blitz Phillip Rivers. There's no doubt about that. They love to blitz. That's just the style of defense that they run. But Rivers has actually been amazing under pressure so far this year. 96.4 quarterback rating under pressure this year. That's one of the tops in the league. Big Ben, not so good actually under pressure. So if Joey Bosa is able to get pressure on Big Ben all day long, it could be a long day for him in this one. When the pocket is clean, however, Big Ben has been great. So is Phillip Rivers, actually, to be honest with you. But Big Ben, when you have Juju Smith-Schuster and Antonio Brown and Vance McDonald and James Conner, if he has a clean pocket, he's been really, really good, rating through the roof. And again, it's something that I think whenever we go back to this, again, Pro Football Focus #1 rated pass unit in the league is this Steelers team here. I like the Steelers at home. I play the Steelers at home a lot. This number was at 3.5. This number has moved to 3. I didn't really like it with a hook attached to it. With it down to 3 right now, I'm going to be backing the Steelers at home. I do not blame you if you got the Chargers at 3 and a hook. If you got them at 3 and a hook a little bit earlier, I think you can feel comfortable with that play. I certainly think there's a chance that this could be a field goal game here. But something about this game lends me to believe that maybe this is kind of a get-right spot here for this Steelers team here. They know what they're playing for in this situation. They play way, way better at home. The home road splits for Big Ben, for Antonio Brown, for everybody is much, much bigger. And this is just, they played there long enough. This isn't just noise. Like, you can actually see the data as it goes back is much, much in favor of Big Ben and Antonio Brown at home than on the road here. Also, I think you can't discount what Melvin Gordon brings to that Chargers offense. I believe that he is the real big kind of integral part that makes everything work here. Austin Eckler's a fine player, but he's certainly not Melvin Gordon. There's a reason he was second fiddle and only getting a handful of carries and only getting a handful of targets a game is because Melvin Gordon was the dude. And I think you're traveling across the country here, going in prime time, Big Ben at home. They know that they got to win some games here to try and get into that second spot there in the AFC and for the playoffs and seeding and things like that. I think this is just a very prime spot for this Steelers team to play well at home and cover the 3 points in this one. That's where I'm going to be putting my money in this game. Guys, really, really appreciate you being here. Of course, you can see all the different offers that we have. Be sure and go to playpicks.com/bonus to see every single one of them. If you just want the $25 at DraftKings, go to dkpicks.com, do that. And please, while you're here, hit that subscribe button down below, hit the thumbs up like button, and also in the comments, let me know how you're playing the game. Are you playing the Steelers? You playing the Chargers? You playing the over? You playing the under? However you want to go about it. Please let us know. I'm very curious as to how people see these games and these primetime games and whatnot. Appreciate you being here. We'll be back tomorrow for Monday Night Football. Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. While you're here, hit that subscribe button right down below. Make sure you never miss a video. When you get done doing that, please head to playpicks.com/bonus for the very best deposit bonus and free money offers on the internet.